Hello students, this is Mr. Nguyen and welcome to another tutorial video. Today we're going to be using IXL to do some trigonometry ratios to find the side length of a right triangle. So let's review those three basic trig functions real quick. We have sine, cosine, and tangent. So for sine of an angle, we're going to be using the opposite side over the hypotenuse, if that's available. For cosine of the function of an angle, we are going to use the adjacent side to that angle and the hypotenuse, if that's available. And then our third option is tangent of the angle. If we have opposite and adjacent, we can use tangent. So I'm going to refer back to this chart for the first few problems. And then after that, you probably remember. And then if you don't, refer back to this chart again, okay? You should have it. But anyway, I also need you to look over here on this Word document. I'm going to show you for each problem. I'm going to show you how to set up the proportion and then how to solve that, right? And then after a while, once you get a hang of it, yeah, I'll show you how to set up the proportion, and then we'll type it directly into our calculator and get the answer. Okay, so let's jump right into it. For the first problem, if you observe the given information real quick, they're asking us to find CD, right? They're asking us to find CD. So CD is this leg over here. This is the long leg, right? So, and the angle that is given to us is angle B. And CD is right opposite of that angle. So I would treat this as my opposite side, right? And then another side is given to me. This side is the hypotenuse side, right? And that's 8. And so this is what you need to do when you are working with these problems, okay? Look at what you are looking for. So read the questions and then label that using your angle that is given to you as a reference angle. So the reference angle determines which side is opposite, which side is adjacent, okay? Now, if this problem asks us to find CB, we would label this adjacent and we'll be focusing on hypotenuse and adjacent. For this problem, we have opposite and hypotenuse. So let's refer to our list here. We have opposite and hypotenuse. So we're going to be using sine function of that angle, right? So I'm going to go over here on your paper on when you're working these problems. You're going to put sine of 49 on top, right? And then 1 on the bottom. And then on the other side, you would put the opposite side, which is CD. Okay, you can call this X if you want. Okay, you can call it X if you want. And then opposite would be 8, right? All right. Give the unknown a variable. Okay. Now after you set it up, it's back to basic. We're gonna be doing cross multiplication. So we're gonna have 1 times x. Okay. So 1 times x would be x. And then equal to 8 times sine of 49 degrees. So we have 8 times sine of 49 degrees. And you can actually type this into your calculator and it will give you the answer for the approximate answer for the length of CD. Okay, so let's type this into a calculator. Now, before you do this, I want to remind you that you have to go to mode and change your calculator mode to degree. Okay, because that's what we're going to be working in is degree. And then after that, hit second mode to quit to the main screen. And all you have to type in is that right there, 8, and then sine. The sine function is right here, this button, SIN. And then you type in 49 degree, close the parentheses, and hit enter. So our answer is 6.0376, blah, blah, blah. The direction tell us to round to the nearest tenth. So we're going to be rounding this to 6.0. So it's just 6. I'm just going to enter 6 here. Okay, and then submit. Yay. Okay. Delete what I just did there. All right, let's do this one. TU, okay? So I'm looking for TU. So now I'm looking at my reference angle 51, and I look at TU. and TU is right next to that. So I'm going to be working with adjacent, okay? Adjacent. And then I look at the other side, and it looks like the hypotenuse is given to me. So HYP, the hypotenuse is given to me. So here I'm dealing with adjacent and hypotenuse. If you review your chart, adjacent over hypotenuse is cosine function. So over here, I would put cosine of the angle, right? Cosine of the angle 51, 51 over 1. And then on the other side, it's going to be adjacent, which is x, because I don't know what that is. And then over hypotenuse, which is 9. Okay? So, and then again, we're going to do cross multiplication here. Oops, sorry, I'm moving that thing around, confusing you. X times 1 is x, right? So we're just going to have x equal, which is segment TU, 9 times cosine of 51, right? So you can actually type that into a calculator again, and then we'll get our answer, okay? So we're going to do 9 and then cosine 51. You don't even have to put the multiplication sign, okay? Oops, that's too many fives there. Delete, hit enter. Now, we already changed to degree mode one time. We don't have to do it again, right? You only have to set it one time, okay? Now, if you reset your calculator, then you'll have to change it back to degree again, okay? So just check to make sure before you do your practice. 5.66, so I'm going to put in 5.7. I'm routing it to the 10th place, so 5.7. 5.7. Now, if these problems start to repeat, I am going to jump level, okay, to get you guys to see a more challenging problem. Submit. All right, take away what I just did there. All right, ST. So I'm looking for ST. ST is right here. And it looks like the angle is 22. So right opposite of that. All right, so they are starting to repeat. So this is opposite, but let's do another one. Opposite. And then hypotenuse is given to me. How do I know this is hypotenuse? It is right across from the right angle. And it seems to always be the longest side. It is the longest side. So anyway, opposite hypotenuse, we're going to be using sine function. So I'm going to type in here sine of 22 degrees, and then opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is x over hypotenuse, which is 8 is given to me, right? So I go to my calculator. Okay, so before that, so if you cross multiply, you're going to get x equal to 8 times 8 times sine 22, right? X equals 8 times sine of 22, right? Equal. Oops, what did I do? I don't know what I did. Anyway, it's messed up. Let me delete. Delete. Okay, so what I'm gonna have, what I have here is x equals 8 times sine 22. You can put sine 22 first, but sometimes when we put the function first and we put the 8 in the back, we forget to close the parentheses, and then it's a whole mess, right? So I tend to put the number in front of the function. So we put 8 and then sine 22. Now here, even if you forget the parentheses, it doesn't make any difference. But if you put the 8 after that and you forget the parentheses, yeah, it's going to make a difference. So 2.996. So if we round this all the way up, it's going to be 3, right? So I'm going to go over here and type in 3 for my solution. So ST would be 3. Enter or submit. Oh, very good. Okay, so delete what I just did there. Uh-oh. Okay, it won't delete. Okay, never mind. It's going to take away. I'm going to take away this also. Take away that. Okay, very cool. All right. What we have here, WX is what we're looking for. We're looking for opposite again. Okay, this is starting to repeat. Again, we're going to be using sine opposite over hypotenuse again because we're looking for XY. So I'm going to jump level. Okay, I'm going to jump level really quick. Ta-da! Let's see if this is different. Let's see if it's different. We're looking for PR. This is different. So we are actually looking for the hypotenuse now, right? So look at PR. PR is the hypotenuse. We are looking for that. So we are using that side. And what's given to us is opposite. Now, this is still opposite of over hypotenuse, but this problem is different because we are not looking for the opposite side. We're actually looking for the hypotenuse. So it is a little different, and I want to show that to you. All right, so let's go over here. We are using sine, right? So sine of 67 degree, 67 degree. And this time, x is not on top because x is actually the opposite. And I know what it is, so I'm going to put in 7 instead. The hypotenuse is what I don't know, so I'm going to put x on the bottom. So as you can see, this is different than what we just did, right? So here, if you cross multiply this proportion, you would end up with 7 equal to x sine 67, right? And so uh, this is an equation where you actually have to solve for x here. So to solve for x, you actually divide, right? So if you are dividing, it's going to be a 7 divided by sine 67 because sine 67 is being divided, right? Or 7, we divide both sides just to get x by itself. So in your calculator, you have to type this in, right? You have to go to your calculator. So this is where you have to be careful, right? So, and I'm going to tell you this too. Every time you're looking for hypotenuse, you will be dividing by, you will be dividing the trig function, okay? So when you're looking for hypotenuse, you will divide, okay? So we'll do 7 divide sine, oops, that, I don't know what I type in there. Let me clear that. 7 divide, I'm trying to use my keyboard and it didn't work. Sine of 67. You learn something new every day. Okay, so that's what you type in, okay? Not multiply this time, we're dividing. Enter. 7.6 is our answer. I'm going to go back over here and type that in and cross my finger. 7.6. I'm pretty sure it's correct. Ta-da! All right, delete what I just did there. All right, let's look at this one. Let's see what we're looking for. IK. We are looking for hypotenuse again. Okay, since I'm going to do that problem one more time for you, okay? So we do have hypotenuse that we're looking for, okay? And they're giving us 27, which is the reference angle, and right across from that is a 1. So this would be opposites, right? So opposite over hypotenuse. Again, I'm using sine, right? But this time it's going to be 27 degree. So sine of 27 degree. Equal to opposite, which is 1 over x, okay? So, oh, this problem is easy because if I'm cross multiplying, this will be a 1. So I'm going to have 1 equal x sine 67. So to solve for x, it's going to be 1 divided by sine 67 equal x, okay? So I'm going to type that into my calculator, 1 divided by sine of 67, okay? So 1 divide sine 67. Enter. And it's okay if you don't put the parentheses, just to save you an extra maybe second. 1.1, it's our answer. So we're going to go back over here, put 1.1, enter. Uh-oh. Oh, I put the correct answer is 2.2. Wait, what? Let's see what they did. Opposite over hypotenuse, 1 over... Oh my God, I put 67 instead of 27. Okay, got it. Okay, I made a mistake. As you can see, I type into my calculator 67. I didn't type in 27. Uh-oh. Anyway, oh, I got I got bumped down to 38. No problem. We learn. We learn. Okay, let's look at this one. What are we looking for? We are looking for RT. So RT is, you'll probably be watching this. You're like, what is he doing? RT is opposite. Okay, opposite. And 1 is given to me, which is adjacent. So in this problem, in this example, I don't need the hypotenuse at all, right? So I'm going to be using opposite and adjacent. Well, let's review our chart again. Opposite over adjacent is tangent function. So I'm going to be setting up my tangent proportion. Okay, so I'm going to do tangent of 63 degrees. And then opposite over adjacent. Opposite would be x because I don't know what it is, right? And then over adjacent would be 1. All right, so if I cross multiply, x times 1 is x. So I'm going to be having x equal 1 times tangent of 61 is just tangent, I'm in 63. I'm going to make that mistake again. 63. So I'm going to type in 1 times tangent of 63. Well, it's just tangent of 63 because it's multiplied by 1. So all I have to do is type it in and make sure I put the correct angle in this time. 63 degree. Tangent of 63 degree is how long? Oops, close it. I'm just being extra careful now. I made one mistake and everything just... All right, 1.96. Okay, I'm going to put in 2 because I'm going to round everything up to a 2. So please don't be wrong again. 2, enter. Yay. Okay, delete what I just did there. All right, let's take a look at this one. We are given 54. We're looking for PR. PR is adjacent. Okay, so we are gonna label this PR. Notice what I did. What I do every time. Is I read what I'm looking for and I label that based on my given angle, right? And then opposite of that would be 7. So again, I have opposite and adjacent. I'm going to be using tangent again. This time, I'm going to use tangent of 54 degrees. 54 degrees. And then opposite is actually 7. So I know what opposite is. I don't know what adjacent is. So I'm going to put x there, right? So if I cross multiply this, I'm going to get x tangent 54 equals 7. And if I solve for this, it will be x equals 7 divided by tangent 54. So I'm going to put in my calculator, 7 divided by tangent 54 degrees. So 54. Make sure I put in the correct degree or angle. Enter. 5.1. All right, I'm going to enter my solution here for PR 5.1. Enter. Yay. Okay. I think we can jump level now. Let's say up, we're looking for GH. So adjacent over hypotenuse. So we're looking for cosine. Let's jump level really quick. Let's jump again. It's the same problem. Okay, let's see. All right, let's take a look at this one. We are given adjacent, and we're looking for GH, which is hypotenuse. Let's do one of these. We haven't. Oops, what did I just do? No. Okay, I'm gonna type this in. Hypotenuse. We are looking for GH, so hypotenuse, and we are given adjacent. I'm gonna do this one because we haven't done cosine in a while, right? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So I'm going to go over here and actually set up my proportion as cosine of 39 degrees. And it's going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is 5 and hypotenuse is x, okay? So if I multiply this, it's going to be x cosine 39 equals to 5. And if I solve for x, it would be 5 divided by cosine 39. Okay, so I'm going to type that into my calculator. 5 divided by cosine 39. There's so many ways to make a mistake. You can type in the wrong function, you could put in the wrong degree, you could use multiplication instead of division. So just be careful, guys. We're all human, but be careful. 6.4. Okay, so I'm going to type in my answer here. 6.4. Enter. Yay, excellent. Oh, we're in the challenge zone. I'm not sure if I'm going to take you to all the way to 100 because these are actually pretty easy. Once you set up your proportion correctly, you just type it into your calculator. Okay. All right, let's do this one. Text 38 is the angle. GH is what we're looking for. So we're looking for opposite. And then this is the hypotenuse, which is given to us. Okay, so we are using opposite and hypotenuse. So that is sine. If you don't remember, I'm going to remind you. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 38 degree, oops, 38 degree. Opposite is x over hypotenuse, which is 8.2. Oh, I know why this is in Jiang zone. The numbers are just uglier. I guess it's decimal. It's not any different. The process is the same, right? The number is just decimal instead of a whole number. So it's not really a challenge. Anyway, if I solve for this, x would equal to 8.2 times sine of 38 degrees. So I'm going to go to my calculator, look at 8.2, and then sine 38 degrees. Close, enter, 5.04. So it's just 5 if I'm going to round it. I'm just drop everything. So it's 5.0, but I'm just going to put in 5. Submit. Yes. All right, guys, I think I'm going to stop here because the problems are going to be pretty much the same. You've seen all examples of all the possible ways that they could ask you, right? So I think I'm gonna stop here. If you have any questions or if you get stuck somewhere, send me your question, and I'll be sure to get the answer to you fairly quickly. Okay. Thank you for watching, and have fun. Enjoy. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.